Some slow falls later this work week. Encouraging signs, and even more dramatic falls potentially thereafter, especially if we can keep with the dry conditions going. Lows tonight will drop back into the low 70s. Clouds gather tomorrow with some isolated storms in the afternoon and evening with highs near 90 degrees. That's your forecast first. Fox 14 News at 9 starts right now.
From Fox 14, the right news at the right time. This is Fox 14 News at 9.
Sterlington is deep in debt. The solution proposed would make residents foot the bill by way of a record-breaking tax. How high would it be, and what's the reaction? And Ruston continues to pick up the pieces. The update from Governor John Bel Edwards on recovery efforts after a tornado devastates the city and surrounding areas. Plus, the city of Winsboro facing some money problems. We share what a recent audit exposes about the town's financial shortfall. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Bria Jones. Sarah is back tomorrow. First on Fox, money has been the root of most issues in Sterlington. The mayor wants to tax the town out of debt, but one local business owner says he won't survive. Fox 14's Chelsea Jones spoke with an alderman who says he has some ideas that won't include raising taxes.
Well, Bria, if Sterlington implements the proposed sales tax, it would be the highest in the country. Alderman Brian McCarthy says he's working with the board and businesses to help save Sterlington and everyone's wallets. For 50 years, Napa Auto Parts has sat off of Highway 2 in Sterlington. Over the last few years, business has been less than booming, with sales dropping 14%.
We have competitors, you know, in the near area that is not affected by this.
So when the idea to implement a sales tax near 13%, Ray Lowry and his wife say they had to start thinking of alternatives.
We might just consider moving across the river or somewhere like that.
The town is in debt over $500,000. Lowry thinks the new sports complex is the town's biggest cash cow, but it hasn't been raking in the dollars the town so desperately needs.
Find a way to turn that around and make it profitable rather than be a financial burden.
And that's what Alderman Brian McCarthy, along with other members of the board, are hoping to do. The first being selling local advertisements for the sports complex.
He makes about $300,000 a year selling signs. Well, that's in the neighborhood of what this tax is projected to bring.
Other ideas include a mobile app to encourage people to shop local while using that complex. It starts with making a plan.
We've got a list of them. We've got what the revenue target is, we've got a probability, and we sit there and we work through the list in a very pragmatic way.
The tax is set to go to vote next Tuesday.
But it wasn't our creation, you know, it was theirs, and therefore, why should we be penalized?
If the tax does in fact pass, and we start to see some revenue coming in from these other ideas, there's nothing that stops us from lowering the tax to zero.
McCarthy and business owners met tonight to come up with financially responsible plans for Sterlington. A fiscal administrator has been assigned, but there's no update or status of that. In the studio, Chelsea Jones, Fox 14 News.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. On to the crime beat. Monroe police are searching for a man wanted for first-degree rape. Officers are looking for 24-year-old Christopher Towns. Details about the case have not been released. Police say Towns may have short hair and may in the Short Washington or Adams Street area. If you see him or know where he is, call Crime Stoppers at the number you see on your screen. And a man who was tried twice but not convicted in the burning death of a Mississippi woman has been indicted in the killing of a ULM student. Quentin Tellis is charged with one count of second-degree murder in the death of Taiwan exchange student Ming Chen Xiao. Xiao was found murdered in an apartment near the campus in July 2015. Tellis pleaded guilty in May 2016 to the unauthorized use of Xiao's debit card. Authorities have alleged that Tellis cut her more than 30 times until she gave him her PIN number. He was tried in 2017 and 2018 in Mississippi on capital murder. Charges in the December 2014 burning death of 19-year-old Jessica Chambers. Both juries deadlocked without reaching a verdict. And the battle intensifies over the hot-button issue of abortion. House lawmakers in Baton Rouge could pass a so-called heartbeat bill this week. It would ban abortion in Louisiana as early as a woman's 6th week of pregnancy. The Senate has already approved the bill, but the measure would only go into effect if the U.S. Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. And all 30 states have now introduced restrictive abortion measures. A number of abortion rights groups are calling for a national day of action tomorrow across all 50 states. The ACLU and Planned Parenthood among the groups urging supporters to protest online with the hashtag #StopTheBans. And switching gears, life is slowly but surely returning to normal for Ruston nearly a month after its deadly tornado. Fox 14 meteorologist Brian Briggs was there to hear Governor John Bel Edwards' update on where Ruston and some of the other parishes in the ARC limits now stand.
Still some cleanup to do, but it's a much different scene than the last time I was here.
25 days after the tornado, debris is now stacked up, but Ruston continues to pick up the pieces. Nearly a month after the deadly tornado, and cleanup and restoration efforts still continue across the hardest hit portions of Ruston. But despite this, they're still on the fastest track to bringing some normalcy back to the city. Governor John Bel Edwards visited Ruston Monday to tour and provide an update on recovery efforts.
Based on the damage assessment that we've been able to do, the tornadoes and bad weather that day destroyed 89 homes. I mean, that's completely destroyed. Damage to Ruston is estimated to be $5.9 million, with close to $11 million spanning 3 parishes. But financial assistance will be coming. Once damage assessments were completed, based on FEMA's conservative estimate, and this is somewhat preliminary, we will meet the threshold for public assistance funding in Lincoln, Morehouse, and in Union Parish. And the community support is also helping to smooth the road to recovery. I will never forget seeing all the students here at Tech who came out and engaged in cleanup here at Tech, but also in the residential communities across the city of Ruston. In Ruston, Brian Briggs, Fox 14 News.
As mentioned, those numbers are preliminary, so we'll be sure to update you if those numbers change. And switching gears, Winsboro is facing some financial trouble. An independent audit shows the city ended the last budget year with a general fund deficit of more than $417,000. The independent auditor also noted several repeat findings, including failing to reconcile several town accounts, failing to report and remit unclaimed property to the state, and failing to properly record transfers between funds, and failing to remit payroll taxes and retirement plan contributions in a timely manner. And a West Monroe man is accused of punching someone, then calling 911 claiming he'd been shot. 53-year-old Johnny Matthews is charged with simple battery and criminal mischief, giving a false report to police. Police say Matthews approached his accuser as they were looking at an empty lot. The man claims Matthews was screaming for him to leave and calling him several profane names. The accuser says that Matthews then began punching him in the face. According to reports, the accuser knocked Matthews to the ground after throwing his car in reverse. Matthews then called police, claiming he was shot in the arm and leg. He's since been released on bond. And Monroe has announced a road closure that may impact your morning commute tomorrow. Levy Drive will be closed for several hours tomorrow. The city says the closure will be allowing engineering department to work on pump station repairs. The road will be closed Tuesday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. And this is some news I'm excited about. West Monroe's drive-through only Chick-fil-A is set to reopen. Chick-fil-A's Facebook page says the restaurant's original location at 203 Thomas Road will reopen. It was closed after being flooded in 2016. The drive-through only Chick-fil-A is set to reopen this fall. And coming up on Fox 14, the 2 men marched in war finally get to march across the stage. We share in the excitement of the special day that was delayed but not denied. And the rush to get 5G into the cellular and wireless market may have a new concern. The new technology could interfere with your daily weather forecast.
Good morning. I'm Paul Hutchison with Homeland Bank. This morning, I'm joined again by Vicki Fletcher, our home loan specialist. Vicki, tell us about pre-qualifying.
Thank you, Paul. When pre-qualifying for a home loan, we need to ask, what type of property are you interested in? A house, a mobile home, maybe a condo? What's the maximum house payment you're comfortable with? Have you saved a down payment? Will you receive a cash gift or a gift of equity from a qualifying person? Do you plan to live inside or outside of the city limits? Are you or your spouse a veteran? Are you a first-time home buyer? These answers, along with your credit score, help us to decide what product best fits your needs. We can take your application over the phone, in person, or by internet. Same-day pre-qualifications are quick, and we can provide an estimate of payment, estimated funds needed at closing, and provide your realtor with a pre-qualification letter the same day. In my next segment, a few weeks from now, I will discuss the types of products that we offer at Homeland Bank.
Thank you, Vicki. Everyone, please join us next Monday as we talk about credit scores. We'll see you next week.
Join us for our second annual Homeless Veterans Food Drive. Please donate non-perishable food items at any Max Fresh Market store in Monroe and West Monroe. Together, let's give our homeless veterans the support they need and so richly deserve.
We've got the bases covered this season with all the local Little League action. Catch it on League Lights, Tuesday on Fox 14, Your Morning News, and Fox 14 News at 9. League Lights, brought to you by Spartan Adventure Park.
Other companies may say that they're affiliated with us, but don't be fooled. If you don't see Air Service Professionals on the side of the truck, then it's just not us.
When you see an Air Pro stand at your door, you know you're getting a whole lot more.
Where can you find the largest pre-owned inventory in Northeast Louisiana? RyanAutomotive.com. Where can you buy a high-quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV with low upfront, no-hassle pricing? RyanAutomotive.com. Ryan Automotive is your pre-owned headquarters. Hundreds in stock, thousands in savings. Pre-owned vehicles for every lifestyle, every budget. Ruston to Rayville, Bastrop to Columbia. Come see why more used car shoppers are buying at Ryan. Ryan Automotive in Monroe. RyanAutomotive.com. Ryan Automotive, your pre-owned headquarters.
Kick off this summer with a great deal on some of our most popular vehicles at the Honda Memorial Day sales event. Now it's your chance to get an outstanding vehicle with a great offer. Honda was awarded 2019's Best Overall Brand by KBB.com. Visit your Honda dealer today for a great deal at the Honda Memorial Day sales event.
Ready for summer? Nissan is. You can't miss out during the Summer of SUVs sales event. All you need is a great camera, the right tunes, and a change of scenery. Save on it all at Nissan's Summer of SUVs sales event. Save up to $4,000 on the 2019 Murano, or save up to $5,500 on the 2019 Armada.
Is it time to upgrade your HVAC system? Don't delay. We have great financing offers to fit any budget on the most dependable, efficient systems available. Call us now and schedule your free in-home estimate. Your comfort has never been more affordable. We're Air Pros in West Monroe and Ruston.
News sponsored by Twin City Outdoor Equipment. Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Thanks for sticking with us. 2 military veterans will have another chance to wear a uniform of distinction. Fox 14's Gabrielle Pfeiffer spoke with the vets about the march they never got but always wanted.
Rudolph Nelson and Roy Harbor are no strangers to suiting up for battle.
I was in Vietnam in 1971.
But this year, they'll get to suit up in a graduation cap and gown, something they never had the chance to do when they were in high school.
But I had to deny academics and put the country's war effort first.
Nelson and Harbor were in the 9th and 10th grades when they dropped out of high school. They have marched the battlefields of many war zones, and now they'll have a chance to earn another important rank.
Honestly, I had dreams of going back to high school to get a diploma.
At age 91, Nelson will be the oldest graduate of El Dorado High School. He says one question has plagued him over the last several decades.
Well, did you graduate? Did you graduate?
With help from a long-time bill that allows schools to issue diplomas to World War II, Vietnam, and Korean War veterans, they can finally say they did. Reporting in El Dorado, Gabrielle Pfeiffer, Fox 14 News.
For more information on how veterans can apply to receive a diploma, visit our website at myarklamis.com. And our second annual Homeless Veterans Food Drive is in full swing, folks. Last year, we collected 10.5 tons of food. This year, with your help, we hope to do even more. Take a look at this today. Our morning crew, including our new morning anchor, Bodie Brooks, along with Randy Ayala, they picked up donations already dropped off at Max Fresh Market. Fox 14 is partnering with the United Way, the Wellspring, and Max Fresh Markets once again this year. You can drop off any non-perishable food items at any Max in Monroe or West Monroe, Jackson Street Church of Christ, First United Methodist Church in Monroe, and here at the Fox 14 studios in West Monroe. And together we can get our veterans, our homeless veterans, the support they need. So Jared, I feel like this weekend would be the perfect weather weekend to bring out some donations, right?
Good call. It's Memorial Day weekend, too, so all the more reason to donate to help out our homeless veterans as well. And the Memorial Day weekend is very, well, typical. Forecast next on Fox.
And also coming up on Fox 14, a Texas girl kidnapped while walking with her mother in broad daylight is found. How quick reaction and a community working together brought her home safe.
Welcome to Military Moments, brought to you by Vanguard Realty. Because Memorial Day is in May, we are dedicating this week to the men and women who served in the military. And joining me is Kay Wilkin. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kay.
Thank you, Ashley. Glad to be here.
Kay, what branch of the military did you serve in and when?
I was in the Navy, and I was in from 1975 to 2001.
Why did you make the decision to serve in the Navy?
Well, I think in my youth I just wanted to see the world and have a little broader education.
What were your duties?
I was primarily in the medical field, and so I worked in a lot of hospitals, probably about 8 hospitals altogether.
Around the country?
Around the country and in Okinawa, Japan.
Did you serve in a war, during a war?
I was recalled during Desert Storm, Desert Shield and then Desert Storm.
Can you tell me about that experience?
Well, they pulled a lot of the active duty people out of the hospital, and so I was pulled into the hospital, fill their place.
What are some of your most memorable moments?
Well, as a mother and a woman, I think having my children in the military were two of my memorable moments.
And where did you have your children? Where were your children born?
One was born, I was stationed at NAS Naval Air Station in Meridian, attached to Pensacola, and one was born in Okinawa, Japan.
As a mother in the military and as a woman in the military, can you tell us about your experience?
Well, I think my experience personally has helped me grow as a person. It's expanded my horizons, and I'm proud to be a woman veteran.
What are you doing today, Kay?
Well, I'm in a semi-retirement job now, but I was in the medical field for years because of my military experience and education.
How did your service in the military and your experience affect your life?
I think it made my life more full, and I just have a broader viewpoint.
What do you have to say to the women out there who are thinking about serving in the military?
I think that I don't think they'll ever regret it. I think that it'll be a good experience for anyone.
And where are your children now, Kay?
Well, one son is actually a submariner in the Navy, and one is an engineer that works out of a company in Arkansas. But
I know you're very proud. Thank you so much for joining us. It was an honor to have you, and thank you for all you've done for our country.
Thank you, Ashley.
And join us tomorrow as we continue to honor the men and women who served in the military.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
A look at the new live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, not showing much around our radar site. We did have a few isolated blips pop up from time to time, and those flourished at times through central Arkansas, even prompted a tornado watch at one point through the course of the afternoon and evening, just kind of out of an era of caution just because of what's going on to our northwest. It was a high-risk day for folks across portions of Texas and Oklahoma. Now that high risk has really been trimmed back. There's still a small high-risk area out, but this day has not necessarily been quite as widespread. It's been a very violent day, and I don't want to take away from how volatile the atmosphere was earlier today and some of the circulations we've seen. Probably not the widespread quantity of those supercellular thunderstorms that was initially thought would develop through the course of the day. We were expecting to see more fill in generally north of the Red River, and that hasn't happened yet, but we are also concerned about the overnight tornado threat as these storms continue to crawl eastward. Not in our area, I want to make that perfectly clear, but again, tornado watch is still in effect across western Arkansas, stretching all the way back through most of Oklahoma and north central Texas. Will this impact us? Yes and no. The storm system itself will continue to bring the potential for severe storms in the northern half of Arkansas and the southern half of Missouri, more concentrated through the day tomorrow. Frontal boundary will move through our area, and we could kind of see some tail-end thunderstorms in our area. Can't rule out maybe an isolated severe weather threat as those move through. Then the front washes out, winds return to the south, and the heat and humidity is back on as we work through the rest of this weekend into the holiday weekend. So here's a look at the severe weather threat tomorrow. Enhanced risk much farther northward. Slight risk for the far southwestern counties in South Arkansas in our area. Marginal risk in north central Louisiana and south central Arkansas. But again, that's the lowest of the 5 categories. In all of our risk areas, the main concern is damaging wind gusts. And if we weren't busy enough, subtropical storm Andrea decided to be named today. A very disorganized storm that is continuing to slowly get its act together out over the western Atlantic. Probably will only last another day or two before it just kind of washes out over the open waters of the Atlantic near Bermuda. But again, just kind of a reminder, a friendly reminder that hurricane season is the better part of about a week and a half away. Temperatures across the area in the upper 70s to low 80s at this point. We'll look for lows tonight to eventually fall into the low 70s. Passing clouds staying warm and muggy. Rain chances overnight staying close to 0. Highs tomorrow back near 90. Warm and breezy, but those isolated tail-end storms associated with that frontal system working their way through the course of the day. Winds will stay breezy out of the south. Look at the rest of the forecast. Again, we'll keep the small rain chances in for Wednesday. Highs near 90 as we work through Thursday and Friday. Holiday weekend not looking bad at all. In fact, something you would usually see for Memorial Day weekend with highs in the low end of the 90s, morning lows in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Also, don't forget, now through June 13th, make sure you enter your yard into the Twin City Outdoor Yard of the Week contest. Weekly winners announced each Friday, and one of them gets the grand prize, which includes a new Gravely ZTR mower, a steel combi system, and a Hobie fishing kayak, all worth about $6,000. You can enter your yard by going to myarklemis.com and clicking on the contest tab. And of course, we'll have our next weekly winner on Friday. By the way, yard forecast, couldn't really ask for anything better through the rest of this week as we continue to trend drier and warmer, but stay hydrated if you're going to be out working in that yard this week.
You know, Jared, as I said earlier, I'm amazed that you know that script by heart.
Hey.
I mean, that's talent.
No, it's just repetition. But either way, yeah, I appreciate the compliments.
Talent. We love you here. Well, thanks, Jared. The medical marijuana business is booming in Arkansas, but can patients bring it inside hospitals once they are admitted? The latest on the ongoing battle. And could smokers' paradise be no more for teens? Details on the move to raise the legal smoking age ahead.
Get your mower going. Head out to the high grass. Ouachita Lawn and Garden. Get the tools to do it fast.
Ouachita Lawn and Garden has great deals on Skag power equipment. Come in now and get a Skag Liberty Z mower for payments as low as $100 a month, which comes with a 5-year, 750-hour warranty. Ask about our pay cash and save price. Ouachita Lawn and Garden is your premier Skag dealer.
Ready for summer? Nissan is. You can't miss out during the Summer of SUV sales event. All you need is a great camera, the right tunes, and a change of scenery. Save on it all at Nissan's Summer of SUV sales event. Save up to $4,000 on the 2019 Murano, or save up to $5,500 on the 2019 Armada.
This is Fred. He's dancing like nobody's watching. And because all of the devices on Fred's Wi-Fi network are protected with Xfinity XFi, literally nobody's watching. Except the millions of you, of course.
Wait, millions of people are watching?
Yeah. we're making a commercial.
If it's connected, it's protected with Xfinity XFi. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $30 a month for 12 months. Plus, Site XFi Advantage for enhanced network security. Click, call, or visit a store today.
Hey, feller. They're closed for good.
What?
Yep. Shut her down last week. I hear they're going brick and mortarless now.
Brick and mortarless?
Yeah. Human interaction just ain't a big thing for banks no more. Probably should have gone with a credit union.
I need my money!
At Ouachita Valley, we've been here for over 60 years, and we will always be here. Why not let us help you with your financial services?
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
The Natural States medical marijuana business is budding with more than 50 pounds of the product sold since it hit the market a week ago. Officials expect that number to only grow as edibles become available later this week at 2 dispensaries in Hot Springs. Jesse Turner explains a part of the process that's still pending.
When Arkansans take a trip to the hospital, they're supposed to bring their own medications from home. But when medical marijuana is on that list, the process gets hazy.
One of those situations where, just like with banking, you know, the hospitals are concerned because they have DEA permits.
Legal at the state level versus illegal at the federal level.
They're not enforcing that law, but it's still on the books, and they theoretically could at any time. So there's a lot of hesitation and nervousness about that from the unknown.
The chief operating officer of the Arkansas Pharmacists Association, John Vinson, does know that hospital pharmacists are having the conversation.
Anecdotally heard that they're not going to endorse it or allow it, or they're struggling to figure out how they can, you know, and remain in compliance with the DEA.
A pharmacist's role in the medical marijuana business that's more clear, state law requires at least one to be involved at each of the 32 dispensaries as a consultant for policies and procedures for staff and strain and drug interaction information for patients.
But there is some evidence of with certain seizure medications, there might be a drug interaction, for example.
The pharmacist world remains at odds with the product in general. While Vincent says a dispensary is not a pharmacy, is medical marijuana medicine?
It's controversial, but, you know, I would definitely consider it alternative treatment for some patients.
Currently, the state's only 2 sellers are in Hot Springs. Officials expect a dispensary to open in Little Rock along with Northwest and Northeast Arkansas within the next month. And right now, you have to be 18 years old to buy tobacco and e-cigarettes. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell wants to change that. Today, he formally introduced legislation to raise the age limit to 21 nationwide. The Tobacco-Free Youth Act will almost certainly come up for a vote on the floor, which is co-sponsored by Senator Tim Kaine from Virginia. Both senators pointed to figures from the Centers for Disease Control that show an alarming spike in teen vaping since e-cigarettes came out. Their bill is the second to be introduced this year to raise the age to 21. Backers of both measures say they avoided taking on controversial issues like banning kid-focused flavors used in vaping, so the legislation wouldn't get bogged down. And measles cases are still on the rise in the U.S. The Centers for Disease Control shared Monday in its latest count that 880 cases have been reported as of Friday. 24 states are reporting cases. Most of the cases are in New York. Measles is highly contagious, but can be prevented with the MMR vaccine. Officials have attributed rising numbers of misinformation about vaccines. The CDC says when taken in the recommended 2 doses, the MMR vaccine is 97% effective at preventing measles. And on to the business news, thousands of white-collar workers at Ford get pink slips, and drivers get a bit of good news as we head toward the holiday weekend. Connell McShane of the Fox Business Network has those stories and more in tonight's Fox Means Business.
Ford is handing out pink slips, a lot of them. The automaker cutting 7,000 white-collar jobs. That's around 10% of its salaried global workforce. Ford saying the move will save the company around $600 million annually. Meantime, drivers continuing to get a nice break at the pump ahead of the Memorial Day holiday weekend. The national average for regular unleaded gas down 13 of the past 14 days. a gallon now costing $2.85. To Wall Street, stocks starting the week losing ground, the Dow falling 84 points amid continuing worries over a trade deal. And look before you buy. According to a new survey from SAI Global, 8 in 10 consumers are now researching companies before they make a purchase, looking at things ranging from data privacy to any recent financial problems associated with a company. And that's business. I'm Connell McShane.
So if you're watching, that means fill up your tank first thing tomorrow morning. And the rush to get 5G into the cellular and wireless market may have a new concern: the effects of the technology on weather forecasting and even national security. A new report in Forbes says meteorologists and policymakers have worries that new 5G technology could damage the effectiveness of U.S. weather satellites. That potential problem could affect the accuracy of weather forecasting and even safety of aircraft and naval vessels, depending on weather data. Frequencies used by 5G are similar to that of weather satellites. U.S. senators have urged the Trump administration to ask wireless companies to hold off on the 5G spectrum until more research on potential satellite interference problems is done. And still to come on Fox 14, the back-and-forth trade war with China could start hurting consumers. We've got a report from Washington with the details ahead. And loved ones remembering a slain Chicago teen after she was strangled and her unborn baby was cut from her womb. Keep it right here on Fox 14.
Shop our Memorial Day sale at Sleepy Hollow Furniture and Mattress. Get a queen-size Sealy hybrid mattress starting at just $9.99. Or save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Experience the height of luxury and save up to $1,000 on select Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets. Want more? We have interest-free financing up to 60 months available too. You don't want to miss these deals. Hurry into Sleepy Hollow Furniture and Mattress today.
News sponsored by Willis Knighton, home of the healthcare heroes.
I'm Robert Lane, and I'm a 3B Outdoor customer. We purchased our mower about 2 years ago. Matt and his team helped me and my wife pick out the mower that we needed. It suited us. We went with one of the smaller Hustlers, and it's been a perfect fit for us. When it comes to the service, he will come to your house and pick your mower up, and once it's finished being serviced, he'll deliver it back to you, which has really been a huge help for us. At 3B Outdoor, you can trust Matt Bridges and his team. If you need him, he is going to be there and keep your mower in shape and ready to run.
I've got 6,000 reasons for you to enter the Twin City Outdoor Yard of the Week contest. And you're looking at it. This year's grand prize package valued at $6,000. Weekly winner announced Friday at 5:30, so enter now at myarclemis.com.
Randy Ayala, weekdays on Fox 14, your morning news. And now, your Call Sam forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Almanac from today shows an afternoon high of 88 degrees, morning low of 70. Pretty close to where we should be for this time of year, all told. More of the same tomorrow. Look for lows back in the low 70s with clouds gathering through the afternoon. Could catch some isolated storms through the afternoon and evening with highs near 90 degrees. That's your forecast first for this half hour. Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Bria Jones. Sarah is back tomorrow, topping our second half hour on Fox. Prices for Chinese-made goods, everything from clothing to appliances, are headed up. Walmart says so. America's largest big box retailer and others say they will soon have to raise their prices to pay for the Chinese tariffs. But some lawmakers say our short-term pain is worth it for the long-term wait. Morgan Wright reports.
The escalating trade war with China is hitting American consumers right in the wallet.
And there have been some estimates that have said that the typical American families prices have risen by $500 per family.
Joanne Weiner of George Washington University says even Walmart and other retailers have said they will soon have to raise their prices.
If you're going to have tariffs on everything that is imported from China, you're going to see a big hit at the consumer level.
From clothing to furniture to electronics and kitchen appliances, consumers can expect higher prices on Chinese-made goods.
I personally think that trade and tariff wars are not good policies.
But some in Congress say the short-term pain is worth the wait for the long-term gain, and now is as good a time as any to hold China accountable.
GDP is at record highs. Unemployment is at 50-year lows.
Pennsylvania Republican Congressman John Joyce says he trusts the president's strategy.
When you're at the top of the game and you want to negotiate specifically with China, you bring out tools like tariffs.
President Trump has done just that. After trade talks with China stalled earlier this month, the president raised tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese products.
What he's forcing China to do is to sit down and negotiate.
Joyce says China has been stealing American inventions and violating American patents for years.
We need to level the playing field.
The president says he's hopeful he can come to terms with Chinese President Xi when the two meet at next month's G20 summit. In Washington, Morgan Wright.
A judge is ordering President Trump's accounting firm to hand over records to Congress. The federal district judge told the accounting firm Mazars it needs to turn over Trump's accounting records from before he was president to the Democratic-controlled House Oversight Committee. The decision dealt a significant blow to the White House as the judge rejected Trump's attempt to block the committee's subpoena. The judge said Congress is well within its authority to investigate the president. A person familiar with the case says Trump's legal team plans to appeal, and Mr. Trump told reporters Monday evening the ruling is, quote, crazy. And across the nation, the number of migrants attempting to cross the border from Mexico into the U.S. is at an all-time high. Authorities are concerned about the increase in vulnerable populations like children. Their concerns heightened even more after an 16-year-old migrant boy was found dead in detention. Omar Jimenez has the latest on the border crisis.
A fifth child dead while in United States custody at the southern border after traveling from Guatemala and being apprehended by U.S. authorities. He was only 16 years old. His cause of death unknown. In a statement, Customs and Border Protection saying the men and women of U.S. Customs and Border Protection are saddened by the tragic loss of this young man, and our condolences are with his family. CBP is committed to the health, safety, and humane treatment of those in our custody. But border authorities have described the situation at the border as not sustainable. And these photos show migrants, many of them children, sleeping on the ground on rocks and dirt.
We are trying to deal with this crisis as close to the southwest border as we possibly can. That being said, the numbers are very large. We've apprehended over 540,000 people already.
That's higher than any year over the course of the past decade, surpassing full year totals in just a matter of months. And so far, no long-term solutions have emerged out of Washington.
We have to address both the push factors from the sending countries, what's going on in those countries that's leading these families to want to leave and make that dangerous journey here, as well as some of the pull factors.
As for the Guatemalan boy, an investigation is underway into how exactly he died, only about a week after being apprehended. I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
Prosecutors plan to seek the death penalty for the man charged with killing an Alabama police officer and wounding two more. Police captured 29-year-old Grady Wilkes this morning. They say he opened fire on 3 Auburn police officers who answered a family dispute call last night. Officer William Beckner died after being airlifted to a nearby hospital. One wounded officer already has been treated and released. The other expected to be okay. Auburn's police chief says Beckner is the first officer to be killed in the line of duty in at least 3 decades.
You know, this is not the kind of thing that we're used to have happening here, but we are not immune to things that can happen, and so this will be difficult for us, but we mainly intend to rally around each other and the families and just get through this together.
Investigators say Wilkes was in the military for a number of years. He was wearing a body armor, firing an AR-15. Wilkes also was charged with attempted murder and domestic violence. In a Chicago community is remembering a slain pregnant teenager. Dozens of people gathered Monday at the home where 19-year-old Marlon Ocha Lopez was lured to last month. She was then strangled and her unborn baby was cut from her womb. Police have arrested 3 people in connection with the murder. They're being held without bond. And an 8-year-old girl is safe after being kidnapped in broad daylight. Salem Shabatka was walking with her mom Saturday when a car approached. You can see the suspect's car on a neighbor's doorbell camera. You can see Salem's mom screaming for help after her daughter is taken. Police say she tried to jump into the vehicle but was pushed away. Officers put out an Amber Alert and posted photos of the car on social media. Members of a local church saw the post, launched a search, and spotted the car in the parking lot of the Wood Spring Suits and called police.
Then I just felt like I should go, and so took off. We were told by a detective here at the scene that best places to check are hotels, apartments, and parks.
Officers found the suspect's room and found the girl safe when they breached the door. 51-year-old Michael Webb is charged with felony kidnapping. The girl has been reunited with her family and being checked at a local hospital. In a North Carolina couple taking their gender reveal to new heights. The father-to-be diving headfirst into fatherhood. Oh, that's so cool. During their skydiving gender reveal, Timothy Goodwin and his fiancée Angela Hewitt said they wanted a unique gender reveal, so they set up the dramatic reveal with Skydive Coastal Carolinas. Donned in a pink and blue suit, Timothy leaped out of the plane with his instructor. When he reached the ground, smoke on the ground set up by the company erupted into pink clouds. Timothy says he's excited for the baby girl's arrival, and now he has to think up some good names. So, Jared, would you be that adventurous when it comes time?
No, gender reveals are so dumb and overdone to me.
Like a pink or like blue?
I do have a good idea for a name, though. Ariel. Think about it. Forecast next on Fox.
Get ready for the 28th annual Ronald McDonald Big Bass Tournament, June 8th and 9th at Lazar Park in West Monroe. Biggest bass wins $10,000. First exact 6-pound bass wins $10,000. Plus, try your luck at 3 $1,000 drawings and many more cash prizes. Enjoy the great outdoors and help benefit the Ronald McDonald House. It's all brought to you by these sponsors. The 28th annual Ronald McDonald Big Bass Tournament, June 8th and 9th at Lazar Park in West Monroe. Register online at rmhbigbass.com.
I'm behind on payments, and I'm afraid they're going to garnish my paycheck. What do I do?
Stay calm and call Sam. Let's stop the garnishments before they start, because bankruptcy isn't what we do. It's all we do. Call Sam.
The Memorial Day sales event is here. So if you want low financing and big cash back on the SUVs, #1 in brand loyalty, get a Ford. If you want to save more on the brand with more SUVs on the road today, get a Ford. If you want the best deal of the season, get a Ford during the Memorial Day sales event. Get 0 for 60 plus $12.50 bonus cash plus $2,000 competitive owner cash on Expedition. Only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Sometimes the grass grows so fast, it feels like you live in a jungle. Tame the jungle in half the time with a Hustler zero-turn mower from McKinney's in Ruston. With heavy-duty welded steel decks, powerful Kohler and Kawasaki engines, Hustler stands the test of time. Prices start at just $22.99 or $69 per month at 0% for 36 months. Come see us today at McKinney's in Ruston, your outdoor superstore, because it's a jungle out there.
At Franklin Medical Center in Winsboro, we offer services and care to help keep you well. Our newly renovated facility features orthopedic care, along with great rehab facilities. Dr. Jed Robinson offers those with urologic conditions the most effective treatments with the highest level of skill and care. Our renovated emergency department is fully equipped and staffed with care that's better, faster, and close to home. Franklin Medical Center in Winsboro, where our service is matched by the highest level of hometown care.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kevin Finley. We know that there are a lot of people who just do not want to go to the dentist. Well, if that's you, we have a place where you can come and get what you do want. All the dentistry that you need without the fear and anxiety. Our doctors and staff will take away any embarrassment you might have about your mouth. IV sedation can help you get the dentistry that you want in just a few visits. In a safe, comfortable place, you can take a nap and wake up to a new smile.
We want you in our crew. Crew de Riviere is hosting a Rock and Boil Friday, May 31st at Flying Tiger Brewery. Sit back and listen to live music by Jackrabbit Slims while you eat crawfish and shrimp. May 31st at Flying Tiger Brewery.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Still not much doing. Let's take a look at the new live storm tracker Doppler radar, and should stay that way around the radar site as we head through the rest of the overnight time frame. We do have plenty of storms erupting to our north and to our west. It's been a high-risk severe weather day. First high-risk day we've had issued from the Storm Prediction Center in 2 years. So that puts in perspective how rare these days are. And thankfully, so far, a lot of these storms have either A, moved over relatively rural sections of Texas and Oklahoma, or B, we've started to see the evolution into a damaging wind threat and away from the widespread violent tornado threat as we've worked into the evening and the overnight time frame. Now that, to be said, it's not very encouraging considering the tornado warnings that you still have in West Texas and all of these severe thunderstorm warnings. Still a very dangerous night for our neighbors to the north and west. But another encouraging sign is the fact that portions of central Arkansas that were under a tornado watch until 1 a.m. That tornado watch has been canceled for a handful, several counties in central Arkansas. So again, a little bit of a good sign there, but still a very loud and raucous night expected across much of the plain states. And again, a dangerous one too, with the overnight tornado threat still hanging around in the forecast. As this frontal system moves eastward, the upper level dynamics and the better ingredients in the upper levels of the atmosphere get farther and farther displaced to the north. So the severe weather threat really focused tomorrow across the northern half of Arkansas into southern Missouri. We could catch some of the tail end of these storms along the prefrontal trough as it moves through. The front itself pretty much just washes out over our area, though. Winds are back out of the south for Wednesday and Thursday, paving the way to a warm and much drier rest of the week. Severe weather threats follow as such, with the marginal risk the lowest of the 5 categories across north central Louisiana and south central Arkansas, and then our far northwestern counties in south Arkansas still under that slight risk. Damaging winds are primary concern there. The tropical tracker, well, we've had to dust this off a good week and a half early ahead of the official start of the Atlantic hurricane season as subtropical storm Andrea continues to meander through the western Atlantic. It won't hang out long. It is no threat to the U.S., but it is, again, kind of an unofficial reminder that once we get out of severe weather season, hurricane season is right around the corner. Upper 70s to low 80s at this hour. We'll see lows tonight generally in the low 70s. Clouds will gather, but staying warm and muggy nonetheless with winds out of the south. Breezy at times tomorrow. In fact, a wind advisory in effect for many locations as we look for highs near 90. Again, those isolated storms possible in the afternoon, early evening, and an isolated severe storm can't be ruled out. Wednesday and Thursday, again, highs near 90 and morning lows in the low into the 70s. Rain chances are much more isolated in nature as we head toward the holiday weekend. In fact, the holiday weekend itself looks hot and dry with highs in the low into the 90s and morning lows in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Now, as we head toward the unofficial start of summer, which of course is Memorial Day weekend, a friendly reminder as the heat and humidity continue to stack up, make sure you're staying hydrated and drinking plenty of water. Yeah, I'll say that a lot over the next 3 or 4 months. Morning's right after the break. Stick around.
Homeland Bank is banking the way it used to be done 30 years ago. I feel like I'm a customer again. We're saving between $200 and $300 a month simply by banking with Homeland Bank.
We're Homeland Bank, your local bank. Where's your money?
Hey, that's Greg, the Go Auto guy. Hey, Greg, can you really save us money on our car insurance?
You bet I can. Let's compare rates and get a quote. Just answer a few simple questions.
Call to get a quote, go online, or come into any Go Auto store.
Wow, you can save me money. I want in.
So just give us a call.
Who is that?
Only my new best friend.
What does innovative cancer care mean to Summer James? It means getting back to life's big dreams, including dress shopping for her wedding, relaxing and appreciating the outdoors, and enjoying the company of her family and friends. All thanks to the healthcare heroes and exceptional care at Willis-Knighton Cancer Center. Always here.
I opened Parker Auto Body over 30 years ago. At one time, I had 3 shops, but consolidated into one state-of-the-art facility that can accommodate a large volume of repairs efficiently while maintaining the highest quality on which I built my reputation. I have some of the best employees, many that have been with me for over 30 years. There may be shops out there that look like me and some that sound like me. However, there's only one Parker Auto Body, and we're on Cypress Street in West Monroe, the one you trust.
99.7 My FM. More variety and more music.
2K, and Today. Monroe's at Workstation. An hour commercial-free at noon while you work. An hour commercial-free at 5 on your way home. 99.7 My FM.
Ready for summer? Nissan is. You can't miss out during the Summer of SUVs sales event. All you need is a great camera, the right tunes, and a change of scenery. Save on it all at Nissan's Summer of SUV sales event. Now, save up to $2,500 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Road.
When I walk into Homeland Bank, everybody knows my name. The other banks didn't provide a personal relationship. I have one banker I can text, I can call them. We have a good relationship, and I didn't have that with the other banks.
We're Homeland Bank, your local bank. Where's your money?
And now, sports with Chris Demersion.
I've got my good friend Tim Whitman, head coach of the Ouachita Lions. Coach, a big week for you. Unfortunately, for all of us who love covering you, just love you as an overall person, you're going over to North DeSoto. The first question, how do you feel about leaving Ouachita after 8 years?
Crying at times. Excited about the new adventure, but a lot of great people, a lot of great kids, administration, faculty, the area.
2 state championships in your time there. When you first got over to Ouachita, did you ever think you'd have the success you'd have over there?
The system is set up to be successful in terms of the administration is great. The great players that come in, and not only good players, but know how to work and want to get better. And you know, you never think you're going to have that kind of success.
People got to know what made now the time that you wanted to move on from the Lions.
Lori McPherson was retiring, and she's been talking to me all year. You know, not necessarily about me taking the job, but about the job. And then it sort of happened the week before the state tournament. She said, you know, that's when she started looking. Hey, can you give me some ideas and those kind of things? Well, when Ashley and my wife, went to the state tournament, we saw Clay Corley, the superintendent there, and he spoke to us a little bit, and we talked about it, and he told us about the job. I really didn't know a whole bunch about it. Once he said that, you know, it's like my wife said, she said, I'd like to go see it now. And so it sort of worked from there.
You've had so many players during your time go off to the next level. Just name a few. Morgan Adams over at Grambling, Victoria Peterson over at ULM, and Addison Roark over at Louisiana Tech. How gratifying is this to see that so many athletes under your watch have went on to be successful at the next level?
The biggest thing about us as coaches, that's not necessarily our ultimate goal to say, okay, to see how many Division I players we can put in the next college rank. The biggest thing is that we put a kid in a position to be successful no matter what they're doing. I think the game of softball, athletics in general, teaches great things.
What are some things you're going to miss about Ouachita?
You know, it's great people, the teachers every day that go to work. I mean, people just don't understand that the Ouachita family, when people say Lion pride, they don't understand because they don't know. I'm going to miss the people more than anything.
Plus, I bet you're going to miss this view right here. I feel like I'm in a Hollywood mansion right here.
Yeah, we'll have to find another view that maybe comes into play as good as this one does.
Coach, best of luck to you over North DeSoto. Head coach Tim Whitman, a Ouachita legend, heading over to North DeSoto.
Now, it's time for your Go Nation Report, sponsored by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys.
LSU softball with 40 wins on the season, but trying to put those last couple of weeks behind them, getting swept at home against Alabama. That's never good. Then losing their first game of the SEC tournament against Florida. Taking on Monmouth, the first game of the Baton Rouge Regional. Mary Beth Gorsuch on her game. 7 innings pitched, complete game. Lots of emotion right there. And 5 strikeouts. Yes, go sit down. 5 strikeouts on 94 pitches. And as I said, no runs, the big stat. Savannah Stewart, we're going to talk about her for years to come. The freshman singling through the left side, scoring 1-0 Tigers. Is, hey, hits and runs, hard to come by for both teams. But Ember Surratt going opposite field. That one ain't come back for a while. Her 7th home run on the season. And that would be it. 2-0 Tigers. All they need is 2 runs on the day. And they'll take on Texas Tech on Saturday at 1 p.m. All right, that's what your Go Nation Report here in Baton Rouge. I'm Brian Holland.
That was your Go Nation Report.
How would
would you like to consolidate your credit card bills, all loans, medical bills, all your bills, into one payment of just $100 per month? That's the power of bankruptcy. If you qualify, just $100 per month. Call the bankruptcy specialist, E. Orem Young.
It's a difference you can see and taste. Everyday tap water versus water filtered through the new Chief Water Purification System. Installed at your home or business, this system removes chlorine, chemicals, bad taste, and odors from your municipal water source. No more ring buildup around bathtubs. This system will extend the life of your washing machine, dishwasher, and hot water heater. No replacement filters, just a water hose to backflush the filter to keep it clean. It's a clear choice. Call your local distributor at Ken's Coffee Service today.
Mow better and faster for less with a new Gravely mower from Twin City Outdoor, your Gravely factory direct outlet. For a limited time, save up to $700 off the best mower on the planet, a Gravely ZTR. Save $500 off a ZTX 52. Pay only $67 a month or nothing down, 0% APR for 48 months. Always free fill-up and delivery and a 5-year warranty available, backed by our factory-trained professionals. Since 1967, Twin City Outdoor, West Monroe, Monroe.
The Memorial Day sales event is here. So if you want low financing and big cash back on the SUVs, #1 in brand loyalty, get a Ford. If you want to save more on the brand with more SUVs on the road today, get a Ford. If you want the best deal of the season, get a Ford during the Memorial Day sales event. Now, get $4,750 cash back on a 2019 Escape, plus $750 appreciation cash for military and first responders.
Attractions, and then there's our world-famous on-road attraction, the 2019 GLC. Lease the GLC 300 SUV for just $479 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
How would you like to consolidate your credit card bills, all loans, medical bills, all your bills, into one payment of just $100 per month? That's the power of bankruptcy. If you qualify, just $100 per month. Call the bankruptcy specialist, E. Orem Young.
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
Final look at the 7-day forecast. We'll keep an eye out for any isolated storms that could develop. Any storms that can get going tomorrow have the potential of becoming severe. We just don't really expect a whole lot to develop in our area. Best chances would be in South Arkansas. Look for highs in the low 90s as we continue through the rest of this week. Morning lows in the upper 60s to near 70. All in all, trending very typical for the end of the month of May and into Memorial Day weekend. Hot, humid, stay hydrated, keep the sunscreen handy, and be careful on our local waterways this weekend, especially with a lot of them swollen and in flood stage. If you're instructed to be off the water, stay off the water.
You know, I see something I don't like, rain on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'm reporting.
It's not that bad. You'll be okay.
You know. Well, guys, you can catch us back here tomorrow morning at 7 on Fox 14, Your Morning News.